We told each other we were going to look on the right side a little bit and see who is tuning in. We've already got a couple of comments from people in advance excited about Jennifer coming. So why don't you take a look with me, Jennifer, and see what's going on the comments there.
I see Laura. Hi, Laura. She's local to me, and we just got connected in February. So she's been one of my customers and had fun talking with her.
That's wonderful. So now, how long have you been a consultant?
Well, since last fall. I think it was about October that it became kind of official, So spent the winter training and getting ready, and things are starting to ramp up now, which is nice.
It was exciting to hear you say customers. That's why I asked. I'll let you talk about that again, but I just thought it'd be fun that you mentioned that. So looks like someone is listening in from Oregon, which is great, even with the time difference there. It's so fun to watch the folks looking on, especially after our national party last week, where people are really wanting the community and engagement. On our page, I notice a lot of people are making comments, posting fun things, giving their opinions. And it's so nice to see that, we've been inside for quite a while and we're talking amongst ourselves. And most of the things we see in social media are not great things to comment on in positive ways. And it's so fun right now to see people commenting on positive things that they're learning, things that they're excited for, looking forward to. So hello, Tabitha. Thank you for coming, and we're glad that you're here. It's so nice to be able to reach out and meet people. Arizona. Well, the West Coast is certainly here. I hope the East Coast and some of our northern and southern friends will pop in as well. Why don't we go ahead and get started? Jennifer, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your family?
Sure. My husband and I have been married for about 19 years this summer, and God has given us 2 boys, and they're getting big. We've got a 5th grader and an 8th grader this year, and we've been homeschooling for a long time. I was a school teacher, and my husband wanted me to homeschool, and it just kind of was a natural thing that we just, you're teaching your preschooler, your toddler, and he was just doing so well. And so I had some friends that connected me, church friends that connected me with the BJU Press homeschool materials. And I had used some of them as a school teacher, but we just loved them. And so there was nothing that was bad. We just continued to use them, and they were thriving. So here we are. Years later, my son's ready for high school now. So we're looking at that for the fall.
Wow, high school.
Yeah.
That is so wonderful. It looks like I'm going to have some noise. So I'm going to put my earbuds in. Why don't you tell us about some of the people that are coming in on the right side there?
All right. Well, I've got some friends here, like a couple consultants that have joined us. One of them actually connected me with Homeworks by Precept, so we can talk about that later. I've got a customer here, Laura. Laura lives near me, and she has been a great support. We've had several conversations over the phone or email or in person, so that's been neat to meet new friends and other homeschooling moms.
That's fantastic. Interesting, you were talking about having been a school teacher before. I think a lot of parents wonder, do I need to have a teaching degree? Do I need to have experience using BJU Press materials to be able to teach my own kids? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I actually hear that a lot too. People will tell me, well, you can do it because you taught school. Now, in some ways, there's an advantage there, but I have to say, most of what I've learned in homeschooling, I have learned on the job. It's been grow every year, learn every year, do this better, change things up, tweak things so they work better, learn about my own kids, learning from like the Facebook party workshops. Some of the distance learning teachers, Mrs. Walker has been fabulous. Just deepening what I already know or searching it out. Like I would look on Pinterest whenever my boys were younger, and I would find articles and things like that. So if you are ready to learn, if you are ready to search it out, you can learn right alongside your kids. You can do this. You really can. And then the curriculum itself, you open the books and they walk you right through what you need to do. You don't have to guess. You don't have to say, "Oh, I don't do this. I'm not a teacher." You just open the books, learn what you need to do and go.
I think that's really key. A lot of people are afraid, there's a lot of fear. Am I going to be good enough? Are my kids going to learn well enough? And even the comment that you made of if you're willing to learn alongside your kids, if you have that posture of, okay, I have room to grow, I can learn, that might help alleviate some of the fears that it's okay for you to learn. Every teacher learns, and every year they learn again and again. For you, for a homeschool mom, it's your child. Your child is what you're learning and how your child learns.
Yeah.
Finding ways to help your child learn. So I think that's just a beautiful thing.
Another thing about it too is that teachers don't know everything. Okay, you don't get to be a teacher because you know everything there is to know. Like that show about Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? You don't know everything in history or everything in science, but what teachers are good at is that reaching for knowledge. That I know how to learn, and I'm going to teach you how to learn. I'm going to teach you how to ask questions and find answers.
Right. And a mom can do that better than anybody because she knows what interests her kids. I love the comment that Ruth made here. She said she was a communication major, not a trained teacher. But she said for 16 years, she's been teaching her kids. And she said, you do not need to be a trained teacher. God has given me everything I needed every year. What a great testimonial to hear that. So, okay, you've got two boys, one just about to go to high school.
Yeah.
And you've been homeschooling from the beginning. I think you mentioned that. So did you say you started off with BJU Press, or because you had used it before a little bit?
Before some friends had connected me with some used curriculum, and then I had used it before too, and it was just good stuff. And the more I used it, the more I realized how good it was. There is a depth to it. Like the math curriculum, you learn why you're doing math. You don't just learn how to get an answer. You learn how, like we talked about, how to reach for answers, how to solve problems, and or the writing. It teaches you a process so that you're not just sitting there. Like I tend to be perfectionistic, or let's say pursue excellence. Let's put it that way. So I would always sit there as a student, and I would think through until I had the entire perfect paragraph in my mind, and then I'd write it down. Well, we don't do it that way. We go step by step, write down your thoughts, improve upon them. So there have been so many things that are good. And then the worldview that's in the curriculum has been great too. Connecting science with serving your neighbor. Those things have been really neat. And especially for my son that's going into high school, he loves science and has talked for years about being a scientist. And the curriculum supports his desire to be a scientist because it tells him he can serve others by being a geneticist or by being a biologist or by being whatever. He can help others in that field. So that's been really neat too. Well, one of the reasons I wanted to become a consultant was just because I love the curriculum and I talk about it all the time anyways. So I have been able to do that, and I'm connecting with people. For me, quarantine has not been lonely. I have been talking to customers, some of them local and some of them across the country, and meeting them and getting to know their families a little bit. And I'm telling you, I have just really enjoyed making these new connections and making new friends. These are other homeschooling moms who are like me, who are using this curriculum and want to teach their children about God and want them to be successful in school. So that has been neat. And then also behind the scenes, I've made connections with some other consultants. Not been able to meet them yet, but yet I've had texts and messages that I'm praying for you and we're here to support you and we're excited for you. So that has really been neat to be part of this team where they've been helping me along, and they've been cheering for me all along the way too. So that's been really neat.
Awesome. So you've had some meetings and stuff too. Didn't you have a Journey Forth meeting recently? Tell us about how fun that was.
Yes. So I put out about 100 of the Journey Forth books, which are the extracurricular readers, novels and things. And I put those out and at my church. And church family came through. They were great buying books for grandkids, even if they didn't homeschool. You know, they came to buy some books. Laura, one of the customers that I mentioned that was watching today, she came, and it was just neat to be able to say, we love these books. Let me help you pick some out for your grandkids, or let's tell you which ones are our favorites, or find out what your interests are and connect you with things that you would enjoy. So that was neat. I had a couple other, well, I guess there was a convention I was going to go to, but that was canceled. So not this year, but I've got another event planned for the end of May in Woodhaven, Michigan, where we're hoping that we can all come out of our houses and get together and have fun talking about school, talking about the curriculum, and helping them get some good deals on their orders.
So it's really neat to hear. In fact, we were talking just a bit before this about the relationships that happen in consulting, not only just with your customers, but with other consultants.
Yes.
How have you been able to interact with other consultants?
Well, some of it is on social media, but some of it has been private messaging. You know, I am praying for you, and that's been neat. We ask each other questions back and forth and help each other out. I've got a lot of questions. I have lists of questions usually, and they have been helping me out, and that's just been neat. And then I've got a senior consultant in my area, and so she gets most of the lists recently of questions, and she's great about helping me find out what I need to know so that I can in turn help my customers. So it's just been really fun. We have sometimes video chats so that we can see each other and get to know each other just a little bit. So yeah, there have been many ways to connect.
So I think maybe for somebody who's new to what a homeworks consultant is, what are the benefits to ordering BJU Press through a consultant as opposed to just going to the website? Because it's convenient to go to a website and look at things and click on it. But what's the benefit of ordering through a consultant?
Right. Actually, I know this because I know it because I didn't know it before, if that makes any sense. Whenever I was newer as a homeschooler, I would just place my order through the website, and I would wait all year long for a special Mother's Day sale, not knowing that I could have gotten that discount any day of the year with a consultant. And so we can always save the customer money. Sometimes at our events, there are pretty deep discounts whenever we're able to get together, or even right now over the phone until May 15th. So you always get a discount. Your consultant will figure out, there are sometimes multiple offers, and she will crunch numbers for you until she figures out what the best price is, because we know what it's like to be spending money and be careful with the money and want to get the best deal. So she can do that for you too. Make sure that you're saving as much as you can.
Right. And then once the order's been placed, how does it benefit a customer?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Once an order's been placed?
Yes. So we're not just here for sales. Like I said, we're making friendships and connections. So, you know, we can stay in touch. You have questions, or if you just want to talk through something, you know, and you don't have anyone, maybe your family doesn't support you as you homeschool. You can talk through all of that with your consultant. She can pray for you. I like to send out an email like once a month, maybe, to my customers, just to let them know what's going on. But then I like to reach out, like if there's something in particular that I know would benefit a certain customer, I'll let them know. Or, I had one customer whose child just had surgery, and that's something that I can pray for that person. So there are just so many ways you can and develop that friendship and support these new friends.
That's wonderful. I just love the consultant model that we have. So that our friends don't get confused, you are going to be doing an interview again next week. We're going to be advertising that. What will be different about the interview next week?
So next week's interview is because I'm working on a video series about homeschooling advanced students. So these are going to be ideas for taking the curriculum and applying it in a different situation. And I know a lot of times we talk about how to apply it for students who are struggling in different ways, but just because your child is doing well doesn't mean that you can throw this curriculum out. We have things built in where your child can go beyond, they can go deeper, they can go wider. And so I would like to show how we can do that and give some specific examples of that.
So be sure to see that she's speaking next week. Don't think you don't want to tune into that, because it's not the same conversation. This is going to be a different conversation. And if you know someone who has children who are advanced and who need additional things, who are looking beyond the curriculum, invite them to come listen to this, because I think it'll be encouraging to you. And then we will have a video series on our YouTube channel as well once those are done, that Jennifer's going to do for us. So Jennifer, I'm so sorry that we've had technical problems, and those that are listening, I apologize for that. It's just that kind of a morning, apparently.
Yes.
But we're so glad that we were able to talk through some of these things and to hear what God has done in your life as a parent, as a homeschooling parent, and as a consultant. And I just encourage everybody to look for a consultant. You can go to our map, homeschoolhelp.com. /map, look for someone near you. If you can't find someone near you, you can message our Homeworks Facebook page, and I'll connect you with somebody. So thank you so much for participating, and thanks everyone for your comments. And it was wonderful to talk with you.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.